Welcome to Brandeis. We're so glad that you're interested in studying abroad during your time here at Brandeis. We'd like to give you 5 considerations to think about during your first year, so ways you can go ahead and start planning. So first, think about why you might want to study abroad. Maybe this is just something that you're just now thinking about. Maybe it's something that you planned on doing from the moment you applied to Brandeis. But there's a lot of reasons why you might want to. You can gain a new perspective on your major or minor. You might just now be starting to think about what classes you want to take, but as you're developing what that major and minor might be, you can think about how being abroad might help complement the classes that you're taking on campus and learn something new and have a new perspective while you're abroad. Increasing your knowledge of other cultures, being able to live among others who do things differently than you, see things differently, think through things differently, have different policies, speak a different language, and along with that, enhance language learning or learn a new language. So many of you might be thinking about taking a language while at Brandeis or thinking about the Brandeis language requirement. You can continue that while abroad or just learn a different language that you didn't have an opportunity to beforehand. There's a lot of ability to develop your independence. So you're just now getting to college and you're just now starting to think about developing that independence. But being abroad will even further that. You'll be more on your own, solving problems on your own, learning how to adapt and be flexible. It'll take that to an entirely new level. You'll get to explore and live in a new place. And then also studying abroad really helps you become a more attractive candidate for graduate schools and employers. It's a small percentage of students that end up doing a study abroad experience out of students coming from US institutions. And so it really can set you apart from others. So number 2, think about when you can go abroad. So the important point here is that you can actually go abroad as early as this summer. So it's never too early to start thinking about it. So students can study abroad any summer, as early as the first summer after they start at Brandeis. To be eligible to go abroad during the summer, you need to be in positive student conduct standing. Programs may also have their own requirements, but for the most part, Brandeis students are very eligible for programs. And then if you're thinking of that a semester abroad is when you might want to go abroad, you could go abroad for a semester beginning your junior year or when you're at junior standing. Students can also go abroad during their senior year as long as they come back for a semester after their semester abroad. If you're interested in going abroad this summer, that deadline is March 1st, and you can set up a time at any point to meet with an advisor to talk about your options for the summer. Some programs you might consider for the summer, we have around 50 approved programs, but there's 3 specific programs that are Brandeis run programs. And what this means is that on the program, you'll be with other Brandeis students taking your courses while abroad. So these 3 programs have been designed just for Brandeis students. There's Brandeis in Copenhagen, which focuses on business and economics in Denmark. Brandeis in Merida, which is a public health in the Yucatan program. And then Brandeis in Siena, Making, Seeing, and Mastering Art in Tuscany, a fine arts program that has an art history and a fine arts course. And with all 3 of these programs, you are taking Brandeis courses, earning Brandeis credit. You're just doing that abroad, so you're really getting to see a different perspective. You do not necessarily have to be majoring in these programs in order to attend. They all have rolling deadlines or rolling admission. The final deadline is March 1st. Brandeis in Copenhagen does have some prerequisites for the courses that are offered there, but otherwise it is absolutely possible to do one of these programs in your first summer. Okay, another tip for this year is to start planning ahead for the language requirements. So as you may know, the Brandeis core requirement requires that students have 3 semesters of language or the equivalent of that. So you might be thinking about doing a placement test, or you've already done that and you're placed into a language, or you're thinking about when you want to take that. So make sure that you're incorporating that into your academic planning. The more language you have prior to studying abroad, especially if you're going to take classes in another language, the better. So a lot of programs will have higher requirements. For example, you're going to Argentina and taking classes in Spanish. That language requirement is going to be something like 5 or 6 semesters of Spanish prior to going. Brandeis has specific language requirements for anyone that's interested in studying abroad in a French, Italian, Spanish, or Hebrew-speaking country. For any of those places, we do require 2 semesters or the equivalent of study of that language prior to studying abroad. So if you are very set on going to Italy during your junior year, please make sure you're planning for 2 semesters of Italian before that point. It is never too early to start planning. So as we mentioned, students can study abroad for a semester during their junior year. You can go ahead and start thinking about how you might incorporate study abroad into your academic plan. This is especially helpful for STEM pre-health students. When you're thinking about how to study abroad fit in, think about you can earn credit toward a major, minor, or core requirement. For most departments, that's possibly 2 classes. Usually it's electives toward the major or minor. So save those requirements for when you're thinking about studying abroad and take those Brandeis, kind of core major classes while you're here. Other core requirements that are great to do abroad would be your creative arts requirement, the humanities requirement. So those are also good ones that you can think about planning into your semester abroad. And then it's never too early to start connecting with faculty and departments, especially as they might be the ones to write you letters of recommendation later. Our deadlines are always March 1st, the year before the academic year you'd want to study abroad. So for example, if you're planning to study abroad in fall 2024 or spring 2025, that deadline would be March 1st of 2024. So for most students, that's really planning during your sophomore year, but it's never too early to begin thinking about how you might incorporate study abroad into your academic plan. And then start your research. On our website, brandeis.edu/abroad, we do have an entire approved programs database where you can see all the programs. And it's never too early to start looking at that, getting excited, getting inspired, seeing what's out there, seeing what's interesting. You can always meet with one of our study abroad ambassadors. They are students who have returned from study abroad. They are more than happy to talk to you no matter what stage of the process you are in, just thinking about it, saw a program you like, no matter what, they're happy to chat. And then a great time to set up a time to meet with a study abroad advisor would be in April. After our deadline and our busy time from this year is over, we have plenty of availability in April. We'd love to talk to you at that point to start planning. Or many students will wait until the start of their sophomore year to come in and really start planning. Then we'll have our study abroad fair in September. So those are great things to keep on your radar. We are really excited that you're interested in study abroad opportunities. Our office is located in Newsstand 169, so always feel free to stop by or email us at abroad@brandeis.edu or check out our website, brandeis.edu/abroad. We have a lot of information and resources there, and we look forward to working with you.